This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
I'm Hopeless Peaches.
And we've been trying to schedule Hopeless Peaches for a little while now, so we finally made it happen with the different time zones and all that fun jazz. So, Hopeless Peaches, why don't you tell everybody about your little channel here?
Well, it started because I'm a bit of an introvert and I like art. And then one day I realized, wait a minute, I don't actually know how to talk to anyone, but I don't want to go out and socialize to try and learn that. So I just started rambling into a microphone. I don't know what I'm doing, so...
And you found an audience because you've got 52,000 subscribers now.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
We'll talk more about that on Wednesday.
Yep.
So what's today, Will? Give us the ASMR version.
What is that? Manic Monday.
So on Manic Mondays, we always talk about some news-related stuff. So today we're going to talk about something we talked about the previous week, but at much shorter length because we just found out the date of the Xbox event. Do you play Xbox at all, Hopeless Peaches?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
I'm a pro Xbox person, though. Depends if I can ever get on it. Like, my dad's the pro gamer of the family, so you know, whenever he's asleep, yeah.
There you go. So, are you a Halo fan? That's the better question.
All right, get her off.
My friend's been trying to get me to play Halo, but ages ago I saw Halo, and I don't know. I don't play enough games, so I don't know. Maybe if I try it again, I may like it. But for now,
So, what game would you be excited if they demoed at the Xbox show on the 20th? What game would get you excited?
Game would get me excited. Oh boy, you know, as bad as a rep as they have, any Bethesda game, because the drama that comes with it is just so damn spicy. And if it's good, then I like those kind of games if it's good. So it's a win-win either way. So
there you go. Gives you something to talk about, right? Or at least it gives the commentary community something to talk about for sure.
Yes.
And that gets interesting.
Yeah.
Second thing, the 1993 Midway Games arcade game NBA Jam was originally tweaked in a way that made the Chicago Bulls lose to the Detroit Pistons in any close game. Because
it's the only way that would actually happen.
Because the guy who programmed it was a big fan of the Pistons living in Chicago, so he wanted to stick it to the Bulls.
That's funny.
So apparently, if you ever played the 1993 version of NBA Jam, never ever pick the Bulls. If you're playing Detroit.
Yep.
I thought that was really odd, so I was like, we need to just at least tell people about this because it's like that is such a bizarre story.
It's like an Easter egg.
Pretty
I have
much.
I have to read that twice to comprehend what's going on there.
Basketball. It's basketball. I'm assuming basketball's not that big over where you're at, is it?
Oh no, I'm too British for that. We play our good old golf and cricket and all that boring stuff.
Okay. So, finally, the main topic. All right. I know we've spent actually not that long on the quick topics for once. Usually it's like,
sorry.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. I picked
each time you say something. Yeah, each time you say something, I'm just like, I don't know much about that.
Well, I picked I accidentally picked some kind of non-conversational topic. So whoops, that was on me. This is kind of odd though. So Amazon is trying to get into the games industry. They're like, we'd like a slice of that pie. We got Twitch. We might as well, make some games. So they released their first AAA title, Crucible. And basically said, people were like, this is boring and we don't want to watch it. So not only did it fail as a game to play, it kind of failed as a game to watch, which is the whole point. We own Twitch. We want people to watch the game we produced. Nobody wants to watch it. So Amazon is doing something that's kind of unprecedented. Other games have reinvented themselves, but they've been out while they reinvented themselves. Crucible is Amazon's come back. we want you back. We're going to groom you up a little more, and then we'll put you back out. So, like, they literally are pulling the game out of circulation and then re-releasing it at a undisclosed time. So, it's really bizarre. Have you ever, either of you noticed this prior? Like, I didn't even know Crucible was a thing until the story came out and said Crucible failed. Amazon's taking it back. I'm like, what?
I didn't even know Amazon was like doing games. This is all new to me.
That's where I'm at.
I think the biggest problem here is just that, instead of building a new trend, they chased an old one. And, as you have with these notes here, that market is very oversaturated. There are like huge games like Fortnite already in there that's dominating. And why would you want to put out a brand new game that's essentially very similar to all the other ones to compete against these instead of trying something new? I think that was just poor decision making from the very beginning.
And this is what it looks like. It looks like if you mixed Overwatch and Fortnite.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very strange. Like, you gotta make the trends. Don't follow the trends.
Don't add Sprint to Halo. Yeah, it is bizarre. Like, I just don't understand where they were going with this, and it seems like they just mashed up a bunch of art styles that don't mesh that well. Like, the character to me looks a little unrealistic, and then the landscape looks kind of realistic, and it's kind of weird.
Like,
weird.
I can see some stylization to like the background and stuff, but the main thing for me is how dull like all the colors are. So like they seem to have gone with like a very stylized character, semi-stylized background, but then just boring realistic colors, and it just looks dirty. It looks like one thing for me, because I'm the artiste. One thing that I hate is when someone like realistically, well, I won't say realistically, but kind of more realistically like shades with black, and it just makes everything look dull. And this is what this looks like. It's like like I know that they probably didn't do that, but it's still so boring.
I mean, it's one thing if that's the whole theme, like in Halo, it's the military, like, space odyssey style, so it all is cohesive. This to me is not cohesive.
Yeah, it's kind of like with the difference between like Fallout 4 and Fallout New Vegas in a way. Like, I don't know, like they both kind of work in their own respective ways. Like New Vegas was more grounded and had more like, I guess they tried to go for realism with whatever graphics that they had in the time, but it kind of worked because everything blended together. And then you've got like Fallout 4, which is more like colorful because they went more stylized and stuff. And then you have this where it's like it kind of just clashes. Like, I don't know. It's like it kind of just looks like everything got put into a blender, and it's hurting my eyes.
That's one way to put it. I mean, I just can't imagine watching this on Twitch and being excited about it. Not to mention, one of the biggest things they forgot to do was put an actual mini map on there. And when you're playing like a big battle, like Royale style game like this is, how do you find where you are without a mini map? Like, what the heck? So you got to switch to like a pause screen. It's like that breaks the gameplay.
Terrible decision. Yeah.
I didn't even notice that because I guess I'm not a pro gamer, but I didn't even notice that. But now that you said it, I'm like, I can't unsee that. I can't unsee this monstrosity.
And like everything on the screen, the interface is so small. Like unless I'm playing on a 50-inch TV right up close, I'm not gonna really know what's on the interface. I play on usually a smaller monitor when I play these type of games.
Yeah, that was one of my problems with the Outer Worlds. I don't know if any of you saw that game. Like, that looked quite nice, but the interface was so small that I was like... Because I've got a decently sized TV downstairs, and I was still, like, pulling my chair right to the front to go, what does that mean? What are you saying?
Oh, I hate it when the captions on games, when you turn it... Because you turn on subtitles so you can read it. That way you don't have to play the game super loud, right? And then the captions are like, and it's like, well, what's the point?
I found that funny again with like the Outer Worlds, where like it was like, oh, small, medium, large, and I'm like, large, and it's still small, and I'm like, what? What kind of TV do you beta testers have?
A 100-inch projector.
And they play it in the movie theater.
So
that would be cool.
Here's the question: can this game be successful? Is this market too saturated for battle royales at this point?
I don't think you can ever have a too saturated market, in my personal opinion. Like, you just keep building on it. You do something different. So, if they're pulling it out, like, in my opinion, like, if they're pulling it back into, like, beta testing again, then that seems like they're doing something better than just leaving it out. Like, oh, hopefully someone will, like, play this game. Like,
Apex Legends.
Get the loot boxes and all the cool kid things as we try and fix the game secondhand. But I don't know. We'll see. But I just gotta get some new artists on, from my opinion.
Yeah, you gotta bring the cohesion back. I think some more color would do good for this game.
Yeah, they just need to find like their niche. So like, what makes their game different from all the other ones in this particular genre? And clearly they didn't find it because it failed miserably. And also probably marketing it better so people actually know that it exists.
Yeah, put it on some buses or something. There's a lot of buses driving by with like nobody in them. They're basically just driving posters at the moment. Just put them on those.
There you go.
I didn't even know that Amazon was making games, never mind that this was out.
Yeah, they started doing it a few years back. They purchased a couple studios. They weren't like big studios, so like really if Amazon wanted to get into the market, they should have went after, you know, like what's the company that makes Titanfall, Will?
Respawn.
They should have went after like Respawn or BioWare. Like buy an established company that hasn't had a good game in a while and then take one of their IPs and build that. Like if they could have got Mass Effect, can you imagine how much the market would have got shaken up? So that's just my thought. Like if you want to really bust into the scene, you got to have like a AAA studio that actually exists, you know, or you have to have a secret, really awesome studio that you just, you know, purchased from Mac, like Bungie, back in the early 2000s, and then like Halo. Whoa, that's a different kind of game. Something like that, you know. You really got to bust onto the scene with something. This is not different. This is like the same, but it's like it's like dirty.
Yeah, it's kind of like when Overwatch first came out, because like again, I didn't see a load of games back then, but like, as a casual gamer, it stood out a lot because instead of being like the gritty like Call of Duty style, like it popped, it had characters in it. It had a Cockney kid in it. I was like, yes. Like there's some like extra stuff in here that even though I don't like shooter games per se, I like art and character stuff. So you get pulled in something else. And I think what this game looks like it was trying to do is try and copy what people who haven't played Overwatch and Fortnite think Overwatch and Fortnite is, where it's just like, kind of cartoony style and done. Or trying not to be too cartoony to not lose the mainstream gamers, I guess. I don't.
Hey, look, the water
wrap my
texture is
head
actually
around.
working. That water texture is actually working for once. Oh, and it broke again. It looks kind of weird.
You jinxed it.
Well, I mean, look, that water texture goes all purple when he starts moving instead of like being actual water.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think there's a lot of bugs to work out with this game.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Like-
kind of good that they did pull it out of circulation if there's like so many bugs and clearly no identity to this game though. So
I think the
that
weirdest.
gives me hope.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I keep cutting you off.
No, sorry.
There's that weird plant in the beginning of this video that, like, to me is like a flood tree. Like, literally, it's like some kind of a checkpoint. You have to kill the tree to win, and I'm like, look, in the era of save the trees, you want to kill trees in a video game? This doesn't seem like the best idea.
That's why it failed.
A minor.
Gotta be a rebel.
Set the trees on fire.
I say pro tree burning. There's too many tree huggers. You gotta make something for the tree burners. There's your market. Burn the trees. Please don't.
Yeah, don't do that. So, just to close this out, what kind of games do you guys think of when you think of games that have been pulled out of circulation and actually come back with and actually made a splash? I'll give you two examples that I have written in the script here. Final Fantasy XIV, which actually came back pretty strong, and like our buddy Zio, shout out to Zio, brought that up, that they actually rebooted the game and were pretty successful with it. And then Fortnite, which, by the way, did not start out as a battle royale. It
was a zombie game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like Fortnite Save the World or something like that. And then they had like a battle royale mode. And Fortnite was an actual game that cost money. And then the battle royale mode was released as a free-to-play at some point in time. And then it hit mass market appeal.
That's an example of going into an overly saturated field. So like everyone was making zombie games at that time. And they switched it to a genre that there weren't that many battle royale games at the time, so that was an amazing decision on their part.
Obviously.
Yeah. Anthem might do something similar.
We'll see. I'm guessing by the silence that Peaches would like us to keep talking.
Yes, I am gamer kid. I am totally not boomer. I know things. From an outsider's perspective, it seems hopeful that they pulled it out, and the fact that I learned a thing about Fortnite today, and that gives me added hope for this game. So I won't be a hater yet.
I wrote Fortnite instead of Fortnite. Let's see. So this came, that's a year ago. I don't know. Let's just see. I'm curious what Fortnite looked like. Let's see real quick. Just real quick, I promise. Oh, you're hitting a virtual wall. This looks like Battle Royale. I don't think this is really it. Okay, you know what? I give up. I'm not going to try. Okay, that's it. What are you guys' final thoughts on this? Crucible, yay or nay?
I mean, I'm not the hugest fan of battle royale games, so I'm totally fine with this game failing. However, I'm sure there's a lot of people who worked really hard on it, and I feel bad that something they probably poured a lot of time and hope into has failed on them. So hopefully they can come out with make it unique and at least find some kind of an audience to keep them going.
Yeah, I think the fact that they pulled it out instead of just leaving it for people to like, because I don't know if it's free or not, but even if it's free, most likely they had loot boxes or something that you spend money on. So I'm glad that they like pulled it out instead of just leaving it for like some people to just spend money on when they don't believe that it's finished yet. So it'll probably even turn into like a Sonic movie thing. Who knows? Fingers crossed. It'll turn some weird like blue demon into like a nice lovable little game. So who knows? Yay nay. There we go. There's my answer.
Yay nay. This is interesting. Yay nay. I'm gonna finish this out with I think they should like fully tilt into the grittiness and go like Guardians of the Galaxy style, because that raccoon already looks like, you know, what's his name, Rocket. Yeah, he could be like, and then we'll just call him Trash Panda. That way the reference is there without actually being there. So,
no, but I just said about burning the trees. Now you're gonna make me feel bad about Groot. God damn it! I can't go back on myself, so I guess it's anti-Groot now. Oopsies.
But you're not anti-Baby Groot, so at least you're there, you know.
We'll spare Baby Groot for now. I said burn the trees, not burn the saplings.
Well, anyways, as always, I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
And I'm Hopeless Peaches.
And we will see you
on the next CHRILLCAST. Bye, guys.